Hello, and welcome to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I'm Chance, also known as Miraz, and today we are jumping in into a story that I didn't. Well, I mean, I played it, I've beaten it, and I kind of wish I knew about it sooner than I found it, kind of thing. It was a Kickstarter game by Owlcat Games. They are a Russian developing studio. They put it on the internet being like, hey, we want to make a game about the Pathfinder tabletop RPG, and as if you watched my videos before and heard me told stories, I play Pathfinder a lot on my free time. 5th edition sometimes, but mostly Pathfinder. So, this game was like perfect for me. I didn't even know it existed, kind of thing. So, when I saw it was on Steam, I was like, whoa, they made a game about Pathfinder. I didn't know that. And then I looked, like, I put it on my wish list and whatever, and then kind of forgot about it for a bit. And then it went on sale, and I was like, you know what, I'll buy this. And I bought it and whatever. And then I started playing it. And it's not the exact RPG. You know, obviously it's a video game, so they have limitations, they have modifications, whatever. For a turn-based action RPG. Well, turn-based with pause. No, real-time with pause action RPG. That the next game, actually they added turn-based, but when I played it, it was real-time with pause action RPG. But now they have a turn-based system. So yeah, I've wanted to play this game for the channel for a bit. Especially since Wrath of the Righteous, which is their second game that they're developing, is coming out in the summer of 2021, which is a couple months away now. So I figured this game is long. I figured I'll try to start playing it. I don't think I'll make the Wrath of the Righteous launch, obviously, but I'll play it and then we'll see where it goes. I don't think I'll pick up on the channel Wrath of the Righteous right away, but I will definitely be playing it once it comes out. I had access to the alpha, and I have access to the beta, so I played a little bit of it, put up some reports in the alpha stage. I haven't really found anything wrong in the beta stage to report, but I haven't really gotten too far into the chapter, so we'll see. Yeah, so can't really discuss more than that. But, you know, I figured, why not, let's start up this. I might not release it right away, but when I feel like, I feel like it'll end up releasing it. 'Cause as I mentioned, I don't really like having too many fantasy stuff at the same time, too much apocalypse stuff, too much sci-fi stuff at the same time. So we'll see if I'll release this right away or if it'll be, a little bit later. I do have all the DLCs. I will be playing Varnhold Lot probably soon after this first recording, because Varnhold Lot, normally I do DLCs after the game unless the DLC takes place in the game. But the thing about Varnhold Lot, unlike most DLCs that are a prequel to the game, Varnhold Lot's decisions actually affect the main story, so I do actually have to play Varnhold Lot sometime before the main story, well, sometime during the main story. So what I'll probably do is I'll play the main story a little bit, maybe 2 recording sessions or whatever, and then I'll play Varnhold Lot, but I won't release it. And then when the time comes for, when it asks me, hey, do you have Varnhold Lot save, I'll release the videos of the Varnhold Lot in between the main story so that you see what happened for my choices of Varnhold Lot. And then obviously we'll continue on with the main story with my decisions of Varnhold Lot now saved into the main story. But yes, I will be playing on normal. Normally I play on hard or, like a difficulty above normal, but this game is already difficult. Maybe I'll put it on challenging. But the game is already difficult as is. Especially since it's a long story. I barely beat it on normal. My friend barely beat it on easy. So you can imagine that it's kind of difficult. I'll play on normal, especially since I will be dealing with kingdom management and whatnot. I do have an unfair playthrough, and I started it in the end of 2018, and it's not 2018, the end of 2019. Sorry, I started it in the end of 2019, and it's still going on in 2021. I probably will beat unfair mode while doing the recording for this game, because obviously on my downtime I'll be like playing my unfair playthrough to just get an idea of how to play the game better, just like I did with Dragon Age Origins and whatnot. So yeah, unfair is, as it says, unfair. They are preset characters that are like recommended due to party composition. So there's, I believe, 12 companions, maybe less, maybe 10 companions. So each character in your party, there is no fighter in your party, there is no paladin in your party, and there's no sorcerer in your party. So playing these are a good sense of like, you could do whatever you want, obviously, but you get a good sense of like what you don't have, or what you could play based on what you don't have. And I'll just read these out. I'm not gonna play any of them, but I'll read these out. Hedwig, the result, is a human fighter who is deadly with his flail and skillfully uses his shield for both attack and defense. An experienced mercenary, Hedwig makes a point of never joining an ignoble cause, no matter how good the pay is. He towers over the battlefield like a mountain and protecting his comrades with all his might. Melok the Deliverer is a human paladin of Adome, Iomde, god of justice. His two-handed sword is a formidable weapon of his own, but with Adome's blessing, it becomes a devastating tool of retribution used to bring forces of evil to justice. Having witnessed too many of the world's malice, Meluk swore never lay down his arms so long as there's innocence to save and wicked to smite. Iomde, I'm pretty sure Iomde is the patron of the next game's army that you join to fight the Abyss in Wrath of the Righteous. So, and it comes with with my pre-order I got from funding the Kickstarter, I'm gonna get a little medallion, so it's pretty nice. Vailene the Daring is an elven ranger, a child of the woodlands. She boasts an ability to put an arrow through a squirrel's eye at 100 paces. She prefers the joy of hunting over the bloody fights, but while she's never eager to start conflict, any who harm her or her friends may find themselves dead before they know what has begun. Gimar the Bright is a human sorcerer with draconic blood flowing through his veins. Even as a child, he knew a bright future lay ahead of him. An expert in evocation and fire magic, he prefers to keep his distance from enemies, lest he soil his hands with their ashes. When the situation grows dark, Gimar is ready to lighten things up with a burst of flame from his fingers. And Yadmila. Fantasy names are hard. Yamila the Clement is a halfling cleric of Sarenrae, the goddess of the sun goddess. Her prayers both heal allies and support them in battle. Among wars, plagues, and calamities, Yamila strives to be merciful angel, treating the wounds and soothing pain. She's adamant of her goal to be bringing her goddess light to dark corners of the world. So as you read these, you notice that most of them are kind of all goody two-shoes, because this game does have good and evil choices and whatnot. Some of the ending outcomes are based on what are easier to do if you're good. But it's, again, you could play whatever you really want. I have a bunch of the game comes with up to here. Well, up to here. Actually, I think it's up to here. Yeah, these are the pre-game ones. Some of them are from having specific editions of the game, and most of these are actually characters in the game. So if you choose it, they actually have to take another one. So like I say, you take this one. I'm pretty sure this is the one that replaces it, kind of thing. You take this one, it replaces it with like another one. But I actually have I downloaded a mod that had a bunch of packs that are designed for it. So they have like a whole bunch ready. Today I will be playing my first D&D character, Candy the Chance, or I think it was Ducille Le Chance, and then I eventually changed it to Braden Le Chance, kind of fitting with the whole reclaiming a kingdom kind of thing, although his was reclaiming a baronry, or his was reclaiming his baronry, noble baronry. He was a half-elf, probably like that. I don't think... We'll go with angry. I actually think that hairstyle is already fine. That's the default set. But the hair, we don't have an option to change it to. So I guess we're going with that. Your character model doesn't really matter too much since you're going to mostly be seeing it like this from like a top-down view. But it's nice to customize a little bit. And cleric. By default, he was actually a just base-off cleric. But recently I've been playing him as a war priest because that kind of fit what he was. And Inquisitor actually was a close second to what he actually was before I even knew that Inquisitor existed. But no, he's a cleric. Cleric of Palor, although Palor is not an option for God in this expansion, or in this variant of the game. So we'll just go with the default Idome, because he's very similar. Not sure if I want to be a Crusader or just a Cleric. I know you'd lose your second divinity thing, and I think you get less spells. Oh no, you don't, I don't think. Oh yeah, you do. You do get less spells. At least at level, you get less spells per level, but you get better at combat. So what my character is probably going to be is a frontline tank, taking damage and dealing it. Probably going to be using medium armor. So as I mentioned, Idome, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Probably using the Sun domain to deal with undead, because that's what I did as the character. I was actually Sun and Good domain, because as just a base cleric. But considering the game actually already has I think the Herald call it? No, he has this one, I believe. Where whatever. I believe the game has a base cleric and a or is he I never checked actually. We already might have a Crusader, but it's fine. Adaptability. So you want a little bit of strength, a little bit of con, a little bit of wisdom, and a little bit of charisma. The rest doesn't really matter. You want wisdom for spells, you want strength for attacks, you want con for health, it's for being a frontline. You do want dex, obviously, so that you can defend a little bit better, but due to the fact that we probably will be wearing armor, the dex bonus probably will be negated. We want charisma because, one, I believe we still have channel energy that bases off of, that's based off of, where is it? Equal to charisma modifier, yeah. So channel energy is based off charisma modifier, so we want that up. Also, the fact that we are the main character, we will be doing a lot of conversations where we'll be talking. There will be cases where you'll be the main character without your party and you'll need to talk. So, yeah. I might want to just bring it straight to 18, or I might want to keep it to 16, or maybe even put it to 17 and then dump the other stuff, around. I'm not sure. Let's just put it to 18. You know, a +2 on everything else is pretty decent, and we get items that will fill in the gaps, so to say. Persuasion, perception. Actually, persuasion, religion. Because, yeah. And abilities, half-elves get the ability to gain skill focus for free at level 1, and we're going to put it into persuasion, obviously. So that even our persuasion is even better. As you'll see, look, +6, I believe it'll bring it to a +8. Or +9. And then obviously once you get to 10 skills, it goes to a +6. Or so, that'll be like later on. Selective channel probably is what I'll take. Yeah, I'll probably get selective channel for the first thing. And then obviously weapon focus, longsword, because that's the chosen weapon of Iamde. So you want to be able to use it better. And I'm just going to double check to see if there's anything else. Extra channel? No, I don't really need that right away. Toughness? Nope. Pretty sure I'm good with that. Spells, as a cleric, spells are determined from... What's it called? I have all my spells, so it doesn't let me choose my spells right away. But I have all my spells. Which kind of is dumb. I should be able to choose what I have going in, but you do get an option in the beginning to choose, so it's not that big a deal. Just neutral good.
I'm not touching that.
Grumpy.
This will hurt.
Let us bide our time.
Time's not waiting.
Abatus 1. Day 28.
I didn't even break a sweat.
Okay, so we have all this stuff. Someone's probably going to be like, Crusader, why'd you go Crusader? Regular cleric is OP. And it's like, I don't care if regular cleric's OP. Every class can be OP in a video game. Because this game kind of balances all classes. I find the martial classes are a little bit more boring, though. Like, if you play as a main character as a martial class, it's a little bit boring because all your character will do is just melee attack, melee attack, melee attack. Whereas a Crusader, where I'm going to be doing melee attack, I'm also got buffs. So.
Drawn by the promise of a most dangerous task and a commensurately huge reward, heroes of all stripes gathered here.
Continue.
Where are they? This is taking forever. It didn't even say what this was for, just at the Outdoory. We're looking for heroes. Who are the Outdoory anyway? Rich folk?
If you can't be patient, no one's keeping you here. Just go back to your mountains or whatever hole you crawled out of. The Aldori Sword Lords run the premier school for the dueling arts. They're also the richest and most influential group in this part of Brevoy. Take that tone with them, and they'll teach you some manners pretty quickly.
All right, you purple toad, just shut your trap. And if you can't, I'll help you.
Amiri is actually the flagship barbarian of the Pathfinder series. So it's kind of cool. You get to play with a flagship character in the campaign.
Hush! Quiet! They're coming.
Greetings, everyone. I am Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, and this is Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius of Restov. Welcome to my mansion.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for responding to our call. You may be few, but that's unavoidable. We need only the best of the best for this task. and I see true heroes before me, strong and fearless, exactly what Restov needs.
Forgot that you could actually highlight the green ones if anyone really wants to read it.
Thank you, Lord Mayor.
So yeah, I'll do
Now,
that.
to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Lands. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, it's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the Stolen Lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighboring states would be able to challenge it. Of course, Restov would be first to recognize the legitimacy of this new state, as well as the noble title of its founder. Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the Stolen Lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?
There's a whole team of us. Who exactly is gonna will receive the Baron's title?
I will, of course. I'm the leader of this team, after all. Don't worry, though. I'll make it worth your while to help me.
We haven't yet begun, and you already speak of divvying rewards. What makes you think we'll even succeed? There's little point arguing over who gains the title when we'll most likely lose our lives there.
If I may please answer the question.
Jemani clears her throat loudly, interrupting the argument. She takes a long pause, waiting for the voices to die down as everyone directs their attentions towards her.
We believe you're all equally deserving of a noble title. Over the course of your expedition, it will be up to you as a team to decide which of you is best suited to rule.
Why not just recognize the Stag Lord as Baron?
That's a good point. As I see it, this Stag Lord already holds power over the region with confidence. Many noble bloodlines were started by bandits who just got lucky, weren't they?
Perhaps because we do have standards to maintain. This room has seen many celebrations of adventurers, and even those who just got lucky. But giving a noble title to a bandit lord? That's one thing that's never happened here, and it won't while I still breathe.
You're helping us found a baronry. What do you gain from such generosity?
Don't ask stupid questions. Why should you even care? What they have to gain and why, that's for Lady Aldori and I to discuss. It's none of your concern. Your only concern is to swing your sword around, or whatever it is you do.
Of course, we stand to benefit from this enterprise. But if you're concerned that we intend to rule your country from afar, using you as a front, well, please know that these concerns are unfounded. Let's just say that we have a strong interest in the region's stability. We have need of a ruling power we can negotiate with, not bandit gangs and monster hordes.
What is that smell in the air? Is it the smell of unspoken words and political intrigue?
Tiefling girl standing nearby, speaking in a hushed voice. What she said. Noticing you heard her comment, she winks at you coyly. What rewards can we expect exactly?
And what reward would you seek beyond a noble title and your own lands?
Lord Mayor's eyebrows rise as far as it almost drops the monocle.
We'll absorb the costs of preparing and equipping your expeditions. Once you return victorious, Restov will also allocate you a significant sum to provide financial support for you to establish your country. Essentially, we'll help you build your capital. I hope such a reward is satisfactory.
Words, words, words. Significant, financial. I can't fill my belly with pretty words.
Of course. There will also be an official banquet held in your honor. All of Restov's high society will gather to celebrate your feat.
Now you're talking.
It's clear as day.
Excellent. You venture forth tomorrow. For now, you can take some time to get to know one another better. Or you can head straight to your guest rooms to get some rest. You'll find we've already prepared supplies for you there. And thank you again for agreeing to take part in this expedition. I wish you luck.
Thank you again, with all my heart, for replying to this call. The flare in your eyes reveals your courage, the unshakable will that distinguishes true heroes. I look at you, O champions of Restov, and doubt not for a second that you'll be victorious. So venture forth toward your feet. Go, and return in triumph.
Yes. So you could kind of get an idea
My name's Lindsay. I'm
who's
a
gonna
bard,
be
so
a
this is
companion
my first real adventure.
based on their
So,
icons.
shall we go teach this stag lord a
Not
lesson?
all of them, obviously, but most. I am Braden Lachance. Pleased to meet you.
Likewise. Actually, I also wanted to ask you something. How do you feel about this Tartuccio fellow? I think he's pretty obnoxious personally. He appointed himself head of the team, and he's just after the Baron's crown, or whatever it is barons wear. Doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think you should be team leader. When I first saw you, I couldn't help but think, now here's a real hero. Someone who'll be praised in poems and songs. This is the person I'll write my book about.
I'm no hero, just a mercenary.
And what are you a mercenary for? Is it only riches? Or maybe you want glory, too? Don't you want your feats to be remembered and glorified for centuries? Just listen. You know what the trouble with most heroes' biographies is? They're always written years later, based on the tales of, best case, people who saw things from the outside. Worst case, someone heard about it from their brother, who heard it from their friend, who heard it from their cousin, and so on, adding a new batch of lies each time. Every time I read about a heroic journey, I think to myself, why didn't they just bring a bard with them to write it all down properly? And then I thought, I could be that bard. I just needed to find a suitable hero and volunteer to follow along on their glorious adventure. A great plan, huh? And here we are, with a heroic journey lying before us. Who's going to be the hero? Some dwarf who keeps muttering about how we'll all die? Or maybe that horrific scythe lady? Or, God's forbid, Tartuccio? No way.
Not a bad plan. It's settled then. I'll accomplish the feats. You'll write them down.
Deal. All right. I'm going to my room to write about tonight. See you in the morning.
This expedition's surely doomed. Okay, obviously we want our longsword. And I also want to set up my spells. Domain, Fairy Fire. And then Bless, which... do I want Bless? I'll keep Bless for now. I don't know if I want Divine Favor instead. Nah, I'll take Bless for now. Channel positive energy, Bless. Say. Northern architecture is beautiful, but heavy. Native land of Quidera Places. Palaces. Alright, let's take a snooze. Rest for today.